All right, good morning, traders. Today is Thursday, February 25th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All right. Well, let's start by taking a look at what happened yesterday in the market. We've had a massive sell-off over the last week, and yesterday the market found some legs and began to push higher. I think the day started with short covering, but then it brought in new money buyers. The reason that I think that that's what happened is because we never revisited this poor structure that we created in the single prints of the C period and the D period. And so the fact that instead of creating balance by pulling back down and then retesting these levels, we created balance with time. We allowed the market to balance off with time, and that's much more bullish. Okay. Overnight activity is net short. I'd say about 90% net short. This is where they opened. Most of the price is down here. So we are opening inside of yesterday's range. Opening inside of yesterday's range increases the odds that we're just going to have chop early in the day. Of course, we did that yesterday as well, if you recall. We opened inside of yesterday's range, and I said, well, opening inside of yesterday's range, going to be chop. We had chop down here, and then we took off like a rocket ship. So, if the Jim Dalton has this saying, traders will do what works until it doesn't, and that's on a very short-term basis. So if yesterday buying the open pushed the price higher, they may do the same thing today. Okay, but one thing to keep in mind is we are opening inside of yesterday's range, and so we will likely get chop for at least the first few hours of the day. So you don't necessarily need to be looking for plays right away. Okay, so that's one thing to think about. As far as a counter auction to the overnight inventory is net short. Is there going to be a counter auction long? Because we're opening inside of yesterday's range, you don't need to expect any shock and awe there. So what do I think is going to happen at the open? Well, there's always three scenarios, right? Market goes up, market goes down, or market goes sideways. In a scenario where the market goes down, you would first see these three levels that are marked here act as support. So you'd have a repair of the weak F period low that we left yesterday. That could become support. Market finds support here, turns around and goes higher. Same thing with the single prints, the base of the D period single prints and the base of the C period single prints. All of those could act as support. All right, the market is open. You've also got the halfback yesterday. It's just a few ticks above the single prints here at 38.90. So that would be a very strong level of support as well. Okay, market internals opening basically completely neutral. No message in that. Yeah, it'll have. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to be one of these two, base of these spikes, right? Spikes that don't get revisited on the same day. Sorry, single prints, not technically a spike. Single prints that are created and not revisited on the same day, are often a signal that there was a change in the market here. So, in my opinion, that change was short covering brought in new money buying. So these would act as support right here at 38.90 and 38.80-ish. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. I'm only going to be trading for the first hour of today, so you'll be on your own after that. Targets to the upside, obvious target is the balance area high, right? Whenever you go below a trading range, you pull back into it, you often visit the opposite end of the range. This is actually that opposite end. We were a few dollars off from it yesterday. So that's almost guaranteed to get visited. Beyond that, I mean, potential for all-time high. Let's see how this market goes. You know what? Today's probably a day Stan could be here. I'm going to go ahead and make this a short one. Sorry, brother. I'll catch you next time. Just to keep you guys sort of aware of the way that I think about markets here. I'm not looking to take any trades right now. I don't see any potential trade here because this push higher could literally stop and reverse at any moment. We opened inside of yesterday's range. It increases the odds that we have chop. So literally we could pull right back down to the open at any moment here. So what I'm looking for is either the market pulls down and then finds support somewhere, or if we push up to the poor high from yesterday at 39.2750, I'm going to, and if you're wondering why that's poor, even though there's good excess in the end period, it's because it was a poor high from a previous day. I think from like 221 or something like that. It was a previous high, so that's why that's a poor high. But anyway, so we either go up, we repair the poor high, and then we fail back down, in which case I would go short, or we repair the poor high, find support up here, and then push higher. So that's the trade I'm looking at on the long side, is what happens when we get to this high, or a pull back down that finds support somewhere. I would go long with that. Not looking at any shorts today. Value is higher, momentum is higher. Well, we're happy to have you back, Stan. Good to see you. You'll have to answer your question. Yes, I do all three. I don't. I try not to scalp anymore because that used to be my main strategy. Scalping the ES was the one sort of trading strategy where I was always really profitable, but it stressed the living shit out of me. I came to realize that at the end of each trading day, whilst I would be up, I'd have made money, I'd be like mentally exhausted, and I would dread trading the next day. You know what I mean? Like I'd wake up in the morning and be like, "Fuck, I got to go trade again." So I'm now more of what I would describe as like a day trader who dreams of being a swing trader. That's the way I would describe it. I wish I could stay in my trades for longer, but I just don't have the discipline. I always take the profits um, as soon as I get them. So that's a skill I'm working on. But yeah, mostly more focused on day trades with the occasional swing trade. But then on days like 2 days ago, when we just had all that chop, I was, taking scalps anyway. Well done, Stan. That's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, see, for some people, that sounds like a nightmare. That's too much volatility too quick. To each their own. But that is a great trade, man. Congrats. I love it, Stan. And it's true. You know, it's sometimes frustrating to hear when you're in the moment, right? When you're having the hard time, when you wake up in the morning and you're pumped and you're like, I'm going to fucking make money today. Today's going to be a great day. And then you mess up and you get in that wrong trade and the market goes against you and you freak out and you just exit. And then, oh no, now I'm down, and you try to fight the rest of the day to make back the money that you lost. And you still end the day in the red. And you think, am I ever going to be able to make money at this? Or am I just torturing myself every day? Am I just like beating the fuck out of myself for no reason? I'm happy to do it if I know I'll be successful down the line, but do I know? Am I sure? It's a bitch in those moments when it's tough to remind yourself, but it really is about just not quitting. You just have to believe you'll get there. And you will. Okay, John, let me take an attempt at stabbing at your question here. So, single prints themselves are actually also weakness. They are a sign of excess, and excess often needs to be balanced, right? Not often, always. 100% of the time, excess needs to be balanced. That's how markets work. So when we closed yesterday, we didn't just have the 1 week F low. We had, I forget where it was. I deleted it before we opened because we opened below it. But we had a week reference up here. Then we had the week F low. And we had this single print, which I just kind of deleted that because I wasn't thinking about it was that important. But we have this single print, these single prints, and these single prints. And so the way we think about weak references is that they stack up. The more and more of you that you get, the more exponential the likelihood that they'll be revisited. Okay? So the fact that we had that much weakness built in yesterday's structure, 3 different weak single prints references and 2 weak highs or low references, that's 5 weak references. That exponentially increases the odds that we're going to come back and revisit them. So the overnight market pulling back down was a perfectly natural move. It repaired the 1 week reference that was up here, and it made an attempt at this week reference, but it didn't get down there. It wasn't able to get to that second week reference. It did actually repair this one. It repaired this week F in the overnight. So you add on top of that, okay, that's your narrative coming into the open this morning. We open at this price right here. We come into that with that narrative of like, holy shit, we had all this weakness, all this excess that we created yesterday. It's not an anomaly. This happens. I've seen it before. Not many times. Maybe only 2 or 3 times, but I have seen it before. And so when, I'm getting lost now. I'm mixing up my own words. It's too early. So basically, the fact that the market pushed higher right off the bat, we got 1 tick below, and then the market pushed higher, and we're doing our balancing dance. I said, we're inside of yesterday's range. We're going to have chop. We're going to have balance. We're doing that above the open. That to me is just more bullish. It's the idea that we have all these weak references. The market should, to answer your question, yes, that should be the first thing it wants to do. It wants to fix the old business first before dealing with new business. And the fact that it's not doing that is bullish to me. So yeah, I do suspect a repair of this weak F low will become support. If not the D period, because you got the half back there, I'm almost certain if this fails, this will definitely hold. And I do really think that the market is just absorbing this excess with time. So it wouldn't be unreasonable for us to spend the whole day today just grinding sideways as a way to absorb that excess. Sorry, it's early. I hope that wasn't confusing. I assume that, Stan, you're talking about reading finance stuff, reading trading books and stuff like that. Or are you just talking about not thinking about the market, just reading anything to distract yourself? That's one thing Jim Dalton does. If it's like a balancing day or something like that and he doesn't feel like he needs to stare at the chart, he just sits and reads a book about other stuff, not about trading, and then just kind of glances at his screen. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for swinging by. Good to see you as always. Yes, Dan, love me some Napoleon Hill. What is that book? Think and Grow Rich. That book is magic. I love it so much. Um, yeah, I believe in all that stuff. Okay, market internals falling into bearish territory. Market definitely feeling like it wants a pullback here. First is the repair of this weak F low. Once we get 2 ticks below, do we find support somewhere in here and then start to trade higher? And then same thing down here for the D and then the C, the base of the single prints. If we do push through here and we come down to the single prints, do we bounce off the halfback? Do we bounce off around here and then start higher? Or do we continue lower? If we get below 38.80, that's very bearish for further downside continuation. But I don't think so. I think we'll find support somewhere in here. Damn, Stan, that's next level. You read it 3 times a year? I read it once. I should reread it. It's definitely one of those books that's worth letting some time pass and then giving it another go. But 3 times a year? You are a fan. I also assume, since you say you carry it with you, you're more of a reader than a TV watcher in general, would be my assumption. Thank you for the ha ha ha. I squirmed for a moment. I was like, wait, what? Oh no. No, the Hallmark Channel's fine. That's cool. Mediterra, what does BBIAF mean? Okay, well, that's not a great low. The taper here isn't good. 3,000 contracts, 1,000, 1,000, and then 21. Not great taper on the low there. Probably going to be revisited. Yeah, Stan, I think what Algo Lover is talking about is more the concept that it's like let's say earlier in the A period I knew we were going to have a sell-off down to repair that weak reference that we had left behind. I think it was the must have been the F low right here. I forget where that reference was. Um, so like let's say I knew that was going to happen, right? I could have waited for the perfect entry to go short, or I could just go short and then wait. It's something Jim Dalton calls monitoring for continuation. Like you just wait and see. I'm short now. I think the market's going to go down. And then I wait for a signal that I'm wrong. I don't wait for the perfect entry to get in. I just get in and then I wait until the market tells me I'm wrong. It's not going to go down. It's just a slightly different way of entering trades, being more focused on where the market's going rather than when you're getting in, that you're getting in at the perfect place. But both are completely valid strategies. They're just for different types of people. Okay, I wish I wouldn't have deleted that weak reference. Maybe I can go back and find it because I think we're actually finding support from that first one. I guess it would have been the week H period. No, we're not finding support there. Oh no, week F is what it was. Okay, never mind. Go back to what you were doing. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Yeah, Fausto, if you're trading futures, my friend, I highly recommend looking for a different brokerage. Um, Thinkorswim has been notorious for that forever. I would say I like APM or AMP, sorry, AMP futures. There's also what's the other one? I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's like a bunch of them that are engineered for futures traders. So you get super, super quick fills. I would recommend looking into that. Yeah, I've never tried that one, but I've heard that's good. Stan, if you think Thinkorswim is good for charting, I need to introduce you to TradingView, the software that I use. It's an online platform, so it's not using your computer's data to process the stuff, and it's way, way more intricate than Thinkorswim. Just for charts alone, not for the options stuff. Calvin, thank you for saying so, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, Ryan. That is a second opinion. Verified. TradingView is sick. And it's designed to be super easy. Like it's not complex at all. It's very, very simple. Thinkorswim is way harder. Yeah, I actually sent them an email about that like a year ago to TradingView. Like, hey, you guys realize if you just added market profile, you would get so many people signing up for your like full membership because they have like different tiers or whatever. I was like, man, if you just added that functionality to like the top tier, you guys could kill it. Never heard back. No, theirs isn't market profile, it's volume profile. So it is different. But that is a cool tool, and I do use that. All right, that's a lie. I don't really use it, but I have used it in the past. It is cool. I mean, so for me with TradingView, like, and just with trading in general, I've gone through such a cycle. Like, I've used this for all sorts of different trading strategies, Bollinger Bands and VWAPs, and I mean, you name it. I've done it all. Um, Holy shit! Did I just get a tip? Hey, just got $2. Thank you, D Brown. Appreciate you. Um, yeah. So like, I use the two main ones that I would use on here now. I don't know if you can see. Let me lower this down. Just because I don't use anything. Like I used to always have RSI and MACD on here. I got rid of those. So pretty much the only thing I use now is the triple forecast for the moving averages. And then sometimes I'll look at the VWAP. This is a VWAP that just also includes the bands that show you where the, edges are. But honestly, I haven't looked at this in months, man. Pretty much it's just the moving averages. I keeps it simple. Okay. I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but this feels like this is just going to be a rotational day. Technically, we're trending down at the moment. We are one time framing lower. But what I'm guessing is we're going to need to have a balancing day, a day where the market just kind of grinds around as a result of creating this much excess yesterday. Anywhere inside of yesterday's value. Did I just get another tip? Dude, shit's on point today. The market profile, thank you to whoever that was. Let me look. Skater LA, bro, $10. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, the software that I use for market profile is called Window Trader. It's spelled without a W at the end of window. Window Trader. I use the Window Trader Lite. They have two versions, Window Trader Lite and Window Trader Blue. Lite just has less function, but it's cheaper. Dude, biggest tip so far was this dude right now. Skater LA. I don't know who you are or what your life is like, but I want you to know I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just that's just like the term for whoever created it. It's just a single um, indicator that allows you to have all three of the moving averages. Because if you do them one by one, you like there's a limit to how many different things you can have on the chart at once. So somebody just created this thing that has all three. And then you can go into the settings and you can program exactly what you want them to be. So I've got like the 20, the 50, and the 200. But you can make them whatever you want, and you can make them any color you want. That's why I do red, white, and blue, because obviously as an American, that term red, white, and blue is very clean cut in my mind. So I just always know the red should be above the white should be above blue. So if I see the opposite, if I see the red cross the white, I know we're in bearish territory, and so on and so forth. That's just a little trick I created in my own brain parts. Yeah, I will throw up an invite for the Discord in the chat, but just so you know, no one ever uses it. So I've tried getting chat going on in there, but it doesn't really get used much. But sure, I'll throw it up. Yeah, that's another one. Yellow, orange, red, so they get progressively like darker. That's a good idea. You guys will find I'm always looking for a way to trick my brain, to make it so that the subconscious processes that take place function more smoothly. I think that's how you get an edge in terms of trading in the flow of the market. Yeah. You do realize I came from LA. I came from the most liberal place to here. And by the way, you got to be a tough, bad motherfucker to live in Seattle. Okay, this rain is difficult. It requires a real masculine attitude to survive the rain. All right, guys. Well, the market is looking for a test of the single prints here. Let's see if we find some support or we continue to sell off. The Discord link is there in the chat. All are welcome, and please feel free to have conversations, post whatever you want. There's no rules in the Discord. Go nuts. We got these single prints. These will need to fill, and I'm 100% certain they will at some point today. Otherwise, I expect what we're going to get today is just a balancing day. Like I said, we'll find support down here or here, and then the market will just kind of grind around and absorb all this excess we created yesterday. Targets on the upper end starts with the poor high from yesterday, then repairing the balance area high, and then targeting the overnight high. I'm going to leave you guys with that today. I will probably not be on tomorrow morning. Could be, so hit the subscribe button and the little bell to find out. But I probably am going to take tomorrow off. But no matter what, I'll be back next week for the full week, ready to rock and roll and make some money together. Thank you guys so much. I really, really, really appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.